Let's get you an update on Rory McIlroy. Came into the tournament, one of the favorites to win and wear the green jacket. Here's Rory's approach on 13. That would land on the green, and an eagle opportunity for Rory, who laid it all out there today. Had a much better second 9 on Friday than he did on Thursday. As we take a look at that scorecard, a 6 under 66 bogey-free round for Rory McIlroy. He's also 4 under on the par 4 5s on this Friday. He was even par in round 1. I'm Tommy Tran. Let's head to Augusta National, where Rick Gehman and Patrick McDonald are standing by. Guys, the big question around Rory McIlroy was how could he respond from Thursday's finish from 15 to 18. Rick, I'll give you first word. What stood out to you? How would you characterize Rory today?
I would characterize it, Tommy, as splendid. Ooh. It was just divine. We were lucky enough to spend a lot of time watching Rory today, and as impressed as we were, he was incredibly, much longer than his peers. He was getting such an advantage, such a leg up there. But I remember after he made that eagle on 13, Patrick, we kind of looked at each other and said, this is exactly what he did yesterday, right? And things went very, very sideways after that, and he was able to, this time around, finish strong.
I'm glad you mentioned strong, because I think mentally it was one of the strongest days of his career to do what he did late yesterday on the second 9. A lot of people chattering, did he throw away this Masters? And to come back and pretty much tell himself, like, I played 16 holes of fabulous golf yesterday. It was 2 little shots that really were my undoing. Let's go back and just do that again. And we see that shot there on 13 from the pine straw and his reaction. We were right behind him. Maybe a little bit of a push to the right.
That was not the line he intended, but he got away with it.
Don't think you want to be right of that pin necessarily, especially with that slope in the middle of the green that you can use to work it. But I thought you look at his line there, very conservative. So when you do miss, Rick, you have a little bit more leeway, and we saw that work to Rory's advantage.
So coming into this tournament, only Scottie Scheffler had better odds to be the champion when it was all said and done. Remind us, Patrick, what concerns, if any, you had with Rory coming in this tournament, and if he's quelled any of those here after 2 rounds.
I think he has quelled them. The main concern for me, Rick, were the starts. The starts have been very poor at Augusta National over this last decade of trying to complete the career Grand Slam. Coming into yesterday, he had a scoring average of 72.2 on Thursdays. On Friday, it was actually worse. He's only had 1 sub-70 round across both those rounds in the last decade. His 66 today, one of his better rounds. I believe he has a 65 from a few years back. But it was really the starts, because the Rory McIlroy that we've seen at Augusta National, we've seen him play very freely over the weekend. We haven't seen that during the weekdays, and it's going to be interesting, Rick, if he can keep that going.
Yeah, and that freedom, unfortunately, on the weekends has often come from being out of contention and not really having to be in the mix and in the fire. I think that, if we have to zoom out a little bit, entering this Masters, Rory McIlroy was in some of the best form we've ever seen him in leading into this event. Already 2 wins, including a Players' Championship. He wins at Pebble Beach as well. This is a golf course that probably sets up better for him on paper. But the thing is, Tommy, it's not about the stats. It's not about the shots that he can hit. A lot of it comes down to the mental side of things. So I too commend Rory McIlroy for this bounce back 66 after what was probably a pretty devastating finish to his opening round.
19 straight Masters champions shot under par in round 1. The last champion to start par or worse was Tiger Woods in 2005. I only bring that up, guys, because, of course, Rory McIlroy was T27 coming into today. He's now positioned himself to be in contention for the weekend. What are you guys looking out for with him as we get ready for Saturday and Sunday?
Well, I think I'll remind everyone, par is just a social construct, right? The golf course played to about a 73.6 average on Thursday, so Rory did still beat the field average, which is always a good sign. And now, Patrick, I think what is interesting, again, this is the ebbs and flows of the mental battle that he is going to fight. We could make the case that it was really beneficial for Rory to have the quick turnaround, to not have to dwell on that Thursday round. He was one of the last tee times on Thursday, gets right back at it on Friday morning. He is not going to have that luxury again. It is going to be a late Saturday tee time, and he's going to have to go through the routine. He's going to have to think about the chance, the opportunity of him completing the career Grand Slam. This is a mental battle the rest of the way.
And it's only going to get more and more difficult by the round, by the day, by the hole. To remain process-oriented, I would say, to remain with the task at hand of the shot right in front of you. Because we saw with Rory McIlroy, when he's gotten in trouble around Augusta National a few years ago, he talked about how he got onto the golf course and he was already 7 strokes back in the opening round. He was leaderboard watching. You can't be doing that if you're Rory McIlroy. I'm glad you brought up the Demons, because there's a chance here where Bryson DeChambeau's in the mix also, and we obviously know what happened there at Pinehurst number 2. And at Pinehurst number 2 in particular, he mentioned how he was looking over his shoulder.
Yeah.
Close corridors there in North Carolina. He was wondering what Bryson DeChambeau was doing behind him. So for Rory, he's got to focus on himself, focus at the shot in hand, and not look too far ahead, which is only going to get more and more difficult as he gets closer to that finish line.
I know you guys have been focusing on the mental side, and deservedly so, but I do have to ask you how the short iron's looking with Rory this week.
Well, the shot that he hit on 12, do you know what 12 was playing, what the distance it was playing?
$150.
About $150, yeah. So that's a pretty short club for Rory McIlroy. And he did the thing that I hate to see, Patrick, that long left miss. He kind of shuts the face down a little bit. He gets a little quick from the top. He got away with that. He was able to make par from kind of a really awkward spot. His ball returned from the pine straw down onto some grass. He was able to get up and down. It was a very good momentum-saving par. That's the concern. That's the thing. We've only seen it a handful of times this year. I think I've seen him take about 2 kind of weakish swings with short irons in hand, but for the most part, he's been generally strong there.
Very good today outside that one on 12, and I think the conservative target over that front greenside bunker gave him a little bit of space there to roll back down into the short stuff. But I look at number 2, made a birdie from behind a tree.
Yes.
Thanks to a really nice short iron to a back pin location too. He got all the way back there, knocked in a 6-footer. I look at the one at 10, not quite a short iron, bit of a mid iron, stuffed it 2 feet, tap in birdie. The one on 11, you talked about his distance today. Ludwig Oberg, not a short hitter. You could build anything. You could build another Augusta National between the two of them.
50 yards.
It was unbelievable. It stuffed it in there as well, too. So I think the short irons were primarily great today outside that one on 12, and I think the conservative target line on 12 allowed him a little more space to work with.
16 was a weak swing as well,
Yes.
but that's it. Two swings. Everything else has been very good, Tommy.
All right, Rick Gehman and Patrick McDonald. A lot of Rory talk. He's in the mix, and that's certainly good for golf and golf fans alike. Guys, certainly appreciate it. Great catching up with you guys as always as we get ready for what's to come here on the weekend. A reminder about what CBS's Saturday broadcast is being extended by 1 hour to match Sunday's final round. So that's 2 to 7 p.m. Eastern. And then Paramount Plus will debut 4 live hours from noon to 2, both Saturday and Sunday, which will also stream on Masters.com and the Masters app.